Hello and welcome to this review of Aristocrat Gold Rum, product of the West Indies, distilled by Groskuth Distillers Company, Bardstown, Kentucky. Well, actually that's Heaven Hill today. I bought this 1 liter bottle at Savannah Discount on Louisiana Highway 45 northbound in Marrero, Louisiana. Never tried it. This is the first video review for this rum in the world, and I couldn't even find any written reviews, just some product descriptions on some online liquor stores. I did the Bacardi Gold. That was very nice. I don't need to show you that bottle. We all know what that looks like, and you can get it anywhere. Another Bacardi Gold rum that I tried was the Castillo Gold, made by Bacardi. This is a liter bottle, 1 liter. I bought it for $6.99, I think, or it might have been $7.99. Well, whatever the price, it was the price you'd pay normally for a $7.50, so I bought it. It's from Puerto Rico. This was started in 1914. Now it's owned by Bacardi. This one was kind of rough. Well, it's quite rough. I see some sediment in there, and it was basically just tastes like pure rubbing alcohol. The one that shocked me so far was the Skull Virgin Islands rum, imported, so it's the British Virgin Islands. This is now, there's a lot of sediment with that bright sunlight coming through. I see just particles of, looks like even a piece of fabric. That's bizarre. Well, these are not as clear as you may think. I see it floating in there. It looks like somebody's clothing came off in there. Yikes. Very, very light. Introduced in 1956 by J.A. Doherty's Sons Company, which by that time had already been bought out. I think they sold out in 1919. This was definitely $6.99 for the 1 liter. Had a very interesting wood. The wood was very prominent, white oak, uncharred, and I was caught off guard by that. But here I don't know what to say. I don't know what it's going to be like. It's not as light as the Skull, not nearly as dark as the Castillo, which must be colorized with caramel coloring. Okay, well, it's got a code, guys, but I don't know what that means. There's like different metals. I don't think this ever won any medals, nor was it entered in competition. It's got a peacock, I guess that is. No, it's a double-headed eagle. That's what it is. A double-headed eagle with some crest, green crest, peacock-like, and they're grabbing banners. So, it's strange. Groskuth was a husband and wife team that started a distillery right at the end of Prohibition, 1933 time period, 33, 34. They produced the Aristocrat line of vodka, rum, gin, whiskey, so on, other things. Their own branded Groskuth products. The company struggled to compete, as you would expect. Small distillery. It burned in 1968. Never could find out what caused that, from what I read. They were pretty much at the end anyway. The husband and wife both died within days of each other in 1999, and then Heaven Hill had taken it over. They said the Groskuth people, the family, they adopted a bunch of children, or they had foster children, but they had never had children of their own, and they donated a lot of money to Louisville University. All right, so this is another one of those small companies that got bought out. It's very light, just like the Skull. It looks darker in the bottle, but it's very pale in the glass. And it's barely gold. It's more of a clear rum. Is it aged more than a year? I would doubt it. May not even be aged a year. It's from somewhere in the West Indies. They don't say Puerto Rico, so it could be anywhere. But it doesn't say imported, so that's telling me that it's probably Puerto Rico or the U.S. Virgin Islands. And that's probably why it's so cheap, and they're not paying import tax. But then the Skull was cheap. That's British territory, foreign country. It smells like alcohol. 40% pure alcohol. Nice little alcohol legs. Alcohol legs. There's a slight little bit of light sugar, but it's so minimal. You really just get booze, alcohol. Not unlike the Castillo Gold. Castillo Gold. I will be very interested to put these in taste challenges. We'll start with Bacardi versus everyone and do a round robin tournament, and we'll probably add some more as we go. Yes, I'll bring in the Bacardi 10 year and the Bacardi 8 year, the Gran Reserva Diaz and the Bacardi Reserva Ocho. It won't be much of a competition, I don't think, but may as well do it. The aged gold rums. The taste. Has some wood. You certainly get some, I would assume it's white oak, I don't know. Some sweetness. It's not as heavily wooded, oaky, heavily oaked as the Skull. On the other hand, it's not as pure rubbing alcohol as the Castillo Gold. Sort of mid-range. There's a little spiciness here, a little bit. The wood, medium bodied. The finish doesn't linger around like the Skull. The Skull was a pleasant linger though. It's short to medium in the finish. Let's see, I gave the Skull a 82, B minus. Bacardi, I was at 78, C plus, and that was generous. Not the Bacardi, the Castillo Gold from Bacardi. This is sort of bland, but it's not offensive. It's a mixer. It's a well drink bar rum. Not a sipper. It's not contemplative. However, there is more sugar than I had expected, and there's more wood than I had expected. It's the woodiness is building actually. It's not coming up to the Skull level. That was a bit of a surprise. I'll be curious how that's going to work out in the taste challenge. I feel the gentle warmth of the alcohol. I would probably score this an 80. It's just marginally good. The lowest B minus I would give it. But for $6, and I think maybe they were all $6.99 for the liter. I'm starting to think that now. I didn't keep track. It was so low. They were even for what they are. They're unusually cheap because I've looked at for what I paid, because I looked at other stores and all of these brands were nowhere near that price. For the liter, it was more like $10.99 or more, and for the 750 milliliter, you were getting the $6.99 price point. So that was strange, but I was pleased with it. Yeah, so I would say a B minus, marginally good, but in no way bad. And I mean, I would recommend it in the sense that if you're like me, you want to try them out just to see. I mean, you're not going to chase after it and go looking for it. Now, if you have a bottle collection, that'd be a different story. I don't have a liquor bottle collection, so that's not a consideration. So a B minus, it's margin. Like I said, it is marginally good, but for the price, I'm not complaining. So unlike the Skull, I did a retake of that because it didn't come out too nice at first. But this is the first take, and that's it. I think it'll be fine to post. So les bon temps roulé, but just barely. And I'm gonna end this review by saying, y'all come on down to today, at least, warm, sunny, southeastern Louisiana.